Hey, CFMA. My name is Joe Harper. I'm the corporate controller at Kelly Brothers Roofing in Fairfield, Ohio, and I'm a CPA and a CCIFP. So I've learned some valuable lessons in presentations over my 30 years of experience. First, owners have short attention spans, so be impactful. Second, you only have one opportunity to wow. Third, pay attention to the high points. And fourth, in preparing presentations, consider how you want the audience to think, feel, and act after the presentation. And finally, anticipate questions. So what do each area mean? First of all, owners tend to have lots of things going on, so they want information to be succinct, impactful, so that they can make a decision on this and move forward. So present information in summary, kind of keep it to a page. If you have more detail, if they want to ask questions and they want to see more detail, you can provide that to them, but really make sure that that's asked for. Second, the one opportunity to wow. You only have one opportunity. When you present something on screen, when you hand a report out, you have one opportunity to wow. So make sure that your slide presentation, that your handouts match the layout or the motif of your company if you have one. Make sure that the colors are impactful. Make sure that there's not too much information on the slide. Make sure that if you want to show the graph going up, you show the graph going up rather than down, and then explain it. Oh, yes, we're really doing well. You don't want any of those things to happen. Make sure your font size is correct, and make sure that you present the information in an order in which you want the audience to see it. So we can see here that we've got a less effective presentation, and that presentation, the graph is true. It contains true data, but it probably contains too many years, and it's just lackluster. If you look at the second graph, it's the same information cut down a little bit and more impactful. It's got the colors that match your company motif. So that's the first thing that the owner is going to look at is, this makes sense to my company. This matches our motif. Second, it has trend lines, so you can actually talk about those, and therefore it's more impactful. So it creates quite a bit more punch when you present that. So the third thing is pay attention to your high points. Every person who watches a presentation will pay attention and then lose attention. What you want to do is capture the pay attention again. So capture points like changing the view. So change the view from me to a slide deck. Say things like in conclusion, or the second point that I have, and those kind of create the high points. And you want to make sure that you space those for your presentation to keep the audience impact. Fourth is, and I can't stress this enough, is when you're preparing the presentation, think of how you want your audience to think, feel, and act after the presentation. And you will, in your mind, structure the presentation to deliver that. And then finally, anticipate your questions. I've been through many presentations where you get through all the steps 1 through 4 and everything's going fine, and you get a question from left field. And if you don't have the data there to at least partially answer it, and you haven't thought about that question before the presentation, then it throws all the rest of the presentation out. You kind of throw a wet blanket on the rest of the presentation. So make sure you anticipate questions, because when you answer questions, or even partially answer questions, so you can show the owner that you've thought about that, you lend credence to the presentation that you did, and you'll get a better result. So best of luck on all your presentations in the future, and hope these tips help. Thank you very much.